nearly 5 months since Monster Rancher 4 graced this channel, but luckily it is back. Mostly because of one particular fan, Lord Ariados, who in a streaming Sunday asked me to check the status of the copyrights that caused me to stop playing in the first place. YouTube did send me emails when the copyrights first reared their ugly head, but never bothered to send me any emails after the copyrights were cleared. Thanks, YouTube. But it's back, which is great. This series is still going strong almost 2 years after I started it. The most long-running series I have in terms of time, though not in episodes yet. I am PyroFalkon, and I thank you for joining me as long as you have. So I watched the last couple episodes of mine before getting started to make sure, first of all, to remember how to play, and second of all, where we were at. If you are watching this from the archive, you probably know if... What? Oh, yes, unfortunately. Oh, that's why I did it that way. So, it has been a while, but you can see that our monsters are doing pretty well indeed. In the last episode, if it has been a while, we're continuing just trying to get our monsters to do what they need to do to get better as we chase that S-Class. Now, I do have my notes still. They have managed to survive, which is excellent. And I wrote down a note here, and I'm glad I wrote it down, that apparently longtime friend and fan of the channel, Evelyn Lovelace, specifically requested that we put Heckhound on the... Why do you have to look that way? She wants us to put Heckhound on the pitching mat and the trampoline just to see the animations for that, so that is what we are doing. So this week will be the pitching mat, and next week will be the trampoline. I'm going to even put this in here to remind myself. Let's see. Yeah, Loza could use a rest. Angle's fine. We'll put him on power. Okay, that's the group. So, in approaching the series again for the first time in almost 5 months, I've tried to decide what exactly I'm going to talk about. Because when you get this far into a series, there's really not much to say. I've covered as much as I can about the game. But one of the neat things about doing Let's Plays is that I date the episodes, which almost... Let's get a little distance. Well, he's doing alright, as long as he doesn't take a ball to the forehead. I date the episodes, which most Let's Players don't, and it... Holy crap. You alright there, Heck? You haven't taken too many grade 4 concussions yet, have you? You are allowed to dodge. You're allowed to move to the side there, buddy. You alright? Is your body not responsive anymore? There you go. That's a good boy. So, I'm still gonna scold him because he's giving me a crap percentage, but anyway. So, here's the thing though. Part of the reason why I'm doing the series again, or still, not only is it because it is by far the most requested series I've had from you guys, but something odd happened to someone I know, and I know that's vague, and I'll explain in a second, but I want to kind of set the stage first. Because the series has gone on as long as it does, and has, and because I date the episodes, I've been using Let's Plays, my channel in general, as a, kind of as a living journal, I guess you could say. Because I can watch some of my old episodes, and I can look back and see where my life was at a particular moment in time. And it's fascinating to me. And I know I've already broached this subject before in other episodes as well. I think I've even talked about it in this series, because the first batch of episodes I did for Monster Rancher was when the Akamura was still in college, and she isn't anymore. And the... Wow. Can I... Oh, come on, camera. Wait, let's go back there and get some distance. So... You would think his ears would, like, somehow make it... would act as parachutes and slow him down. That's a beautiful animation. He's actually doing pretty well. Alright, I'm gonna get him back on accuracy after this. Anyway, so I use the videos as kind of a living journal, and we do discuss heavy topics here on the show. And because this has gone on, this series has gone on as long as it has gone on, I'm basically going to talk about anything, which I usually do anyway, because I don't shy away from topics like some entertainers do. I don't know if I'm an entertainer, but you know what I mean. So, yeah, just, I've had a few things on my mind that has been kind of heavy. So, in fact, if you... What the heck? Oh, tweets. Don't interrupt my talking. Because I don't shy away from heavy topics, if you don't want to hear heavy topics, you may want to be careful around the episodes from here on out. It's not going to be super horrible. I'm not going to have, like, psychological breakdowns on the channel. But I tend to talk about my emotions or my just stuff that's heavy, because that's how I have to work through it. Because, I don't know, talking is good sometimes, and talking has helped stop me from, like, over-internalizing what I feel, and therefore letting it eat away at me. So, the reason that I've come back to the show, or to the series, because I haven't left the show, and really gotten around to trying to look for ways to do it to avoid getting hit with copyrights and to do other things, is I've heard there's a person I know, and to hide his privacy, I'm going to call him Bill, first name that comes into my head. And Bill is a former coworker of mine, and Bill is a pretty decent guy. He was my boss. We didn't super get along all that well. Just, I don't know, I have this thing about authority that makes me sound kind of dumb, but anyway, and I don't usually care for my bosses when they get too much down my throat, but he was an alright guy, and we... Uh-oh. Ooh. Have I not written down their ages? I swear I wrote down their oh, there it is. Pfft. Okay. Ryu is now age 4. We're going to take him all the way to age 5 before we worry about things, but... because he is way too valuable not to be on the front lines here. So, so we recently... so when we worked together, Bill was frequently calling off or leaving early, and everybody knew it was an actual, like, medical problem. But no one really knew what was going on. Doctors kept saying they didn't know. So, a couple years ago, he wound up quitting, because he just couldn't work anymore. And finally, the doctors found out that it was cancer, and it was a particularly aggressive cancer, and I don't remember what kind, although I might, if you know anything about medical stuff, you might be able to know from my descriptions. But, so, Bill went through a bunch of radiation treatment, a bunch of doctors, he went through a bone marrow transplant, he went through a lot of things. And the cancer went into remission, and he thought he was clear. And I even saw him 2 or 3 weeks ago, which, as I'm recording this, I would have seen him right before Christmas. I think he was doing Christmas shopping, and he seemed all right. He was walking, talking. He didn't have any hair left, but he seemed upbeat. He was good. Everything was fine. And he recently wrote a post on his Facebook page to everybody that, in fact, his cancer had come back to the point where it was even more aggressive than it had been. And he set up a GoFundMe account because he needed some help, and he explained that the last time he had gone in for a checkup, the doctors told him he had 2 options. He could either go home and live another 3 to 4 weeks, at least in comfort, or he could go back to the doctor and get another round of chemo and another round of transplants and everything. And if he chose that option, he would receive the strongest chemo that was allowed by law. Like the strongest dose of radiation that he could possibly be allowed by law. And that might buy him about 11 months. Maybe. And that's it. And Bill is younger than me. I'm 33. Bill is younger than me by a couple years. And it's sort of put into perspective, not to make it about me, because that's incredibly heartbreaking, and it's a dude who doesn't deserve it. And hell, maybe I could even make the argument nobody deserves it. But as much as we butted heads, it was always over work. It was always over the job. And, you know, he was just being a boss. It wasn't like he was being a dick or a cruel boss. He was just a boss. So he doesn't deserve any of this, and he never really did anything to cause this to happen. I mean, it's not like he went swimming in a vat of radioactive waste or something. It was just bad genetic luck. But in the face of all of it, he's trying to do what he can to spend the time left with who he can, and so on and so on. And it's made me realize that although I have some mental issues, like I show depressive-like symptoms sometimes, I'm actually in really good health. Like, I'm 33, I think I said that. And my only health issue is that I have really bad allergies, and they're seasonal allergies. I don't even have food allergies. But that's it. Like, that's my only problem. Otherwise, I'm a very healthy person. I don't drink. Other than a very occasional one. I've never smoked. I've never smoked anything at all, let alone cigarettes or marijuana or anything. I've never done any any illegal drug harder than alcohol. Yet, because I have what the Akamura calls brain wrongs, I still fall into my slumps where I don't feel like I should try to do things like write my book or to do these videos, because in my mind, if I'm not going to be Markiplier with 11 million viewers or 11 million subscribers, why should I bother? And with my book, if I write my book and get it published and I have less than 1 million people buying it and I don't approach J.K. Rowling or Tolkien or Martin levels of fame and sales, why bother? And it's a terrible thought to have, and it's very counterproductive. And when I hear stories like what Bill went through and how he's still kind of fighting despite knowing he's not going to see next Christmas, he's not going to see Christmas of 2016 unless a miracle happens, then what I do is like I should just do it instead of sitting here and wondering what might be, or you know, how much I might make, or how many viewers might click that subscribe button down there eventually. Like, I need to just friggin' do what I do. And it's helped me refocus and try to do what we do. I mean, you guys enjoy the series, and a lot of you enjoy other series that I do on the channel. And I've always wanted to do this for you. So it's helped me, and I never wanted Bill's story to be about me. That's not my intention, but it does help me focus, and it reminds me and puts into perspective how lucky I am to do what I am doing. And that I should at least go for it, because, you know, if I try to put my book out there and it fails, then, you know, at least I've tried, I guess. And I don't want to be in a situation where I have a surprise health issue and look back and go, I should have put more videos out. I should have written harder. I should have tried self-publishing the book. And because of that, well, I guess, like, I had already made the decision that I'm going to try to get my book published on Amazon. I'm going to self-publish it next month, which will be February 2016. And I decided that back in, I think, November. And hearing Bill's story this month sort of helped me refocus, because I started to doubt myself again and go, you know, the book isn't that good. Maybe I shouldn't put it out there. Maybe. And that's not a good attitude. Like, if you want to... It's so weird, because when you're younger, at least when I was younger, I never really thought about it, because I'd heard people say it, and on some level, I understood it. When you're told, like, you know, take your chance, you're not gonna live forever, you only have so many years, whatever. You never know when something bad will happen, so do what you can do when you still have the time. And, like, you hear it, but you don't really think about it when you're young, because when you're young, you don't know how much time you've got, and most people will think, on some level, that there will be plenty of time to do what needs to be done. But as you get older and you start to see your friends or your coworkers or celebrities that you grew up with who start having health problems and passing away and losing out on opportunities to further themselves because they can't anymore, then you start to realize that there isn't all that much time left, and you need to act when you can. So it's sort of redoubled my efforts to try to get series out and to try to make videos for you, and it's because it's something I want to do, and on this channel, it's your Let's Play too, and that is not just a tagline. I do these videos for you, not for me. I play video games for me, but I am not the kind of person who makes a thing. Even Let's Plays aren't really making a thing, it's making a thing out of someone else's thing, but still, like, whether it's the book or the channel, I make what I make because I want to share it. I don't do it for me. If I did it for me, I would keep a journal and then not share it with anyone and not even talk about it. But I'm not like that. All of my art, or art in quotes, I do because I want people to enjoy it too. You know, I do these videos because I think you guys enjoy it. And I talk about some of this heavy stuff because I think it'll help at least one of you. And I don't know which of you it may help, and it may help someone in the future. It may not help anyone who is listening to this on release day. But I would like to think that if you know someone who... If you know me, who, you know, I've done a thing, and I'm still trying to do a thing, and if you know the reasons behind why I do what it is that I do, maybe it will inspire you to do something that you want to do. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know if any of this is making sense in the slightest. It's kind of word diarrhea. I'm just vomiting out words right now. That's not how diarrhea works. But anyway. So, like, and this, I'm also not, like, going to say that this is some sort of big life-changing moment for me in a sense, because I still have what the Akamura calls my brain wrongs, and there will still be times I doubt myself. There have been times that I've doubted myself since I heard Bill's story about whether I should put the book out. And, so that's not going to go away completely, but it does remind me that I kind of need to get my ass in gear and actually try to put the book out and not worry so much about who may or may not be interested and where it may or may not fall in this grand hierarchy of books and how much it may or may not sell. I can't worry about that. I can't worry about how many subs I'm going to have tomorrow, because right now I have 2,601 subscribers who want me to put out more videos. So rather than obsessing about the fact that Markiplier has 11 million, what I should be obsessing about is the 2,601 who want me to keep going. And I will try to do better about that. I can't promise I will be perfect, but hopefully you'll see more production out of the channel, because I don't know how much longer I can go. I mean, right now I'm in the peak of my health, but who knows? Maybe I'll get hit by a bus tomorrow. So I want to put out what I can as long as I can, because it'll put a smile on your face. Except for this episode, which you're probably not such a smiling person about. But anyway, I basically just wanted to let you know, the series is back. My mental state is in a pretty good place, and I have renewed vigor to get both the channel and my book out there as unapologetically as possible, even though the circumstances for getting me fired up about it have not been the best. But hopefully you can at least understand where I'm coming from, and I hope you continue to stay on this journey of whatever the hell I'm doing with me as I try to make it and try to make something that will last a while, since I don't want kids. The videos and my book are kind of my legacy, so hopefully you guys continue to join me for there. So that'll be it for this episode, and I promise the commentary on tomorrow's episode will be lighter. I just needed to kind of get that out there, and now that I have a title card with the date, it'll serve me in the future, hopefully. And if I ever get down on myself, I can watch this episode back and remind myself to, keep going and actually give my work a shot. So, yeah, tomorrow will be a lot lighter, I promise. So, hopefully you guys can find something that inspires you to keep going too, Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for another episode.